extent of the mischief that occurred. The results for the National Assembly elections, which occurred at the same time, simultaneously with the presidential results, were able to be uploaded, but the presidential election results were not uploaded. And till this day, as we speak, the results have not even been completely uploaded. What is even shocking is that we have seen photographs of individuals, a woman in a bathroom, uploaded supposedly as results on INEC's IREF page till this day. How can you elect someone on the basis of the photograph of a woman in the bathroom?
How satisfied are you with the presidential election results as declared by INEC? And if you're not satisfied, why not?
I'm not satisfied because I saw too many irregularities. And please, all the information I'm using is in the public space. The information I'm using is available from INEC website in terms of the IREV and the result sheets versus what in some cases the parties and the polling agents insisting is the result. And I will give a few examples.
So guys, for some Nigerians who are saying Mr. Peter Obi should just accept this result so that Nigeria can move ahead, I don't think it's that so easy for you to just, overlook all the fraud that occurred during this election. Honestly, so many things happened during this election. And the most shocking thing about all this is that the INEC chairman did not waste time. He didn't waste time, even when all the results were not yet uploaded, for people to confirm and be sure. He went ahead to declare Tinubu to be the president-elect. So when you look at this election critically, you will know that there was an intention to just rig this election, as in it was well planned. The INEC chairman told Nigerians that results will be uploaded from the polling units directly, to the INEC portal. But this didn't happen, and it didn't just end at that. Even when the results were not yet uploaded, he went ahead to declare who the winner is, So it's not really that easy for Peter Obi to just concede defeat and so that Nigeria will move ahead. There are so many evidences. Evidences that could even indict the INEC chairman, that may even lead to him going to prison.
Agreed to speak now.
And thank you, Charles. But by my nature, I find it difficult to speak about anything without doing my homework. So I needed time to do my homework, get information that's available in the public space from all over the country. Nigeria has 36 states. So now I believe I've done my homework, so I can speak a little.
I am exceedingly eager to hear what your homework entails. But before we get to it, your political affiliation is a little bit murky. At one point, I believe you were a member of the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. Are you still in the SDP?
Oh yes, I'm still a proud member of the SDP, so please don't get confused, Charles.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because of course you publicly endorsed Peter Obi on this program ahead of the presidential election. I wonder if you went out and actually voted for him on February the 25th.
Oh yes, I said I was going to vote for Peter Obi, and I voted for Peter Obi. I was one of the luckier people. I came out on Saturday morning, the polling booth near my house in Victoria Island. I saw the crowd, the youths there. I joined them. They told me to go in front and vote, that I was an elder. I was accredited successfully by Beavers. I voted and left and put up a tweet that it took me all of 5 minutes to vote. And later on, I just came back to get the results, at the end where they were counting. And in fact, I believe you have the result of my polling unit using Nigerian parlance. I'm among those who managed to deliver our own polling unit.
We've called that Exhibit 1A, so we can see it on the screen right now. Tell us about that.
I think there's always a little delay, so what you see in Abuja will probably show up here in Lagos. a few seconds later. But I think the Exhibit 1A was the results from my polling unit. So even though I cannot see it, I have the results with me. I mean, my polling unit's result was, there were only just under 100 voters. Labour Party had 51, APC had 26, PDP had 15, and APN 1, ZLP 1, and 3 votes were voided. So Labour Party won and got almost double the votes of APC, and that was in Victoria Island in Lagos. The polling unit is the one called Ozumba Mbadiwe, or polling unit number 240801031. So
Right.
later on I checked the results. I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. When the result came out on INEC website, I went and checked the results, and that is Exhibit 1B. I saw the result sheet there. It was published. What INEC published for my polling unit was the exact same results that I saw on the day. So I don't have any problem with my polling unit. And if this was the experience all over the nation, I will be the first one to say there's nothing to discuss. Unfortunately, the evidence shows that I was one of the luckier ones in terms of being able to vote early, no voter suppression, no delayed start. The results that were published were the same as what we counted, and so everything was hunky-dory.
Well,
So if we go on...
right, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of polling booth results now being uploaded or displayed on social media, I think uploaded on iRev as well. I mean, how satisfied are you with the presidential election results as declared by INEC? And if you're not satisfied, why not?
I'm not satisfied because I saw too many irregularities. And please, all the information I'm using is in the public space. The information I'm using is available from INEC website in terms of the iRev and the result sheets versus what in some cases the parties and the polling agents are insisting is the result. And I will give a few examples. You know, if you show Exhibit 2A or something like that, and because it's not, and don't forget that there are whistleblowers. A polling agent might be 22 years old. If you bring out the wrong results, he starts screaming, begging everybody to come and look at what he has put up or what you have put up. So I don't know if you're able to show Exhibit 2A. All I'm seeing is on your program, I'm seeing myself.
Now, we can see it on air, so you can tell us about it. It's on air at the moment.
Well, okay.
You may not see
Okay.
it, but it's on air.
If you can see it, yes. Okay. The Exhibit 2A shows you somebody from Rivers State. Just an example, I could have gone anywhere, but Rivers State is also my home state, so why not? So people there have my telephone number, they have my contact details, they have a right to scream and say, look, Oga, come and see what's going on here. So, what do you see there? A young polling agent is screaming. In my polling unit in Rivers State, he says, Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. Let's just stop there. The other parties got very little. So I repeat, Exhibit 2A, the polling agent is screaming, Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. When you go to Exhibit 2B, that is published by INEC on the iRev. Now, it's possible this polling agent is wrong, but the results are reversed in Rivers State, where he says Labour Party got 223. INEC has uploaded APC 223. Where he says APC got 8, INEC has uploaded for APC 223. Now let me explain something about Beavers. So some people don't know. The one important thing Beavers does is that all the votes must add up. So you must always make a minimum of 2 changes If you make only one change, it will not add up, unless it was somebody that scored 0. And even then, if you change 0 to 0, only then will you have the same result. But you must make 2 changes. So this polling agent is screaming that they reversed the result. Labour Party is saying got 223, APC got 8. INEC is showing the exact opposite between those 2 parties. So the votes are balanced. And when you look at the image that INEC actually uploaded on iRev, you can see on the right-hand side where they put where they put the words. You can see that the words have been altered. Tipex has been used. Hey, I'm not criminal investigator. I invite people to go and look at the same information themselves. This is polling unit number 32, 15 07 031. You can see that beside the APC, the figures in words have been bastardized. If you look at the one for Labour Party, in fact, they've Tipex both the figures and the words, and it's thoroughly bastardized. So on the face of it, I'm unable to dismiss what the polling agent was screaming, that something seems to have gone wrong here. Also, I should mention that because I've been involved in opinion polls and so on, you don't just look at 175,000 polling unit results. If you have been looking at election results since 2011, you know where the dead bodies are buried. So you know if from all the results, opinion polls and so on, the trends, whether Labour Party is supposed to do well in Rivers State or not, whether APC is supposed to do well or not, you can look at all the trends. So when you suddenly see people screaming that all that was done was that the 2 numbers were switched, APC's tiny votes given to Labour and Labour's Labour's huge votes given to APC. So the whole thing balances. So again, I'm just presenting information. I saw it on INEC. I looked at the information. It looked like it had been altered. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm answering your question, am I satisfied by that? Of course I'm not satisfied. I would like more investigation. We can look at Exhibit 3A.
Right. Well, let's look at Exhibit 3A, because we need more information. I mean, you can't, there may be anomalies in 1 or 2 sort of polling booths, but we need to see more. So let's see Exhibit 3A then.
Yes. Yeah, Exhibit 3A is going to Bauchi. Because I'm going around the country, just a few examples to show you why some of us are not happy. Exhibit 3A, you see a polling unit results in Bauchi. Forget about all the things INEC announced telling you that Labour Party scored almost nothing. In Bauchi, we're not a player at all. It's polling unit result. Again, the agent was on social media screaming that in my polling booth, Labour Party got 199 votes. The polling unit is known in Bauchi, it's on the exhibit. APC got 78, PDP got 95, and so on. Then the same little agent is screaming that somehow, what he saw on Channels TV or something, so in one polling unit, Labour Party gets 199 units, but that by the time they aggregated the results for all the wards, the whole LGA, that the figure that he now saw for Labour Party, he claims, was 185. So which means that the result declared, according to him, for the whole of an LGA is less than what Labour Party scored in its own polling unit alone. Again, I'm just throwing these things out because they're available on social media. These are people who have put it out, and I've gone to INEC to go and check the result of the polling units and seen that, yes, indeed, Labour Party got 199 votes there. It was the highest in the polling unit, so the guy is not lying. If he made other mistakes, it's not from this polling unit results as uploaded by INEC. So we can go to Exhibit 4. Again, I'm just going around to different parts of the country because this information is available everywhere. When you go to Exhibit 4, that's the polling unit results in Imo State. Again, it's from INEC website, please.
Right.
I don't invent data. It was downloaded there and I give the polling unit number, you can go and see it. Unless they changed it 5 minutes ago, that's the result they announced. It's polling unit number that is number 1624060002. What is unique and different about this result that INEC uploaded? If you look at it, Exhibit 4, you will notice one thing. It was not signed by any single party polling agent. The earlier ones I showed you, in Rivers and Bauchi, you see each party signed beside the figure. In Rivers State, the complaint was that after they signed, somebody seemed to have altered the results. In this one from Imo, not a single political party signed. So what is the result? Only signed by an INEC official and put on an INEC website. And what does the result show? APC got 600 votes, Labour Party 4, PDP 16. It's not initialed by any political party. It's possible INEC can explain that probably the original result sheet got lost or disappeared, so it was their own official called Mbakwe that filled this out all by himself. So he by himself filled out something, total number of votes 620. APC gets 600, Labour Party 4, PDP 16. No political party signed. Again, there are polling agents in Imo, in those same areas, screaming.
Right. Well, let's just move quickly, because I want to be able to talk to you before we run out of time. There's another Exhibit 5. Just tell us about that. What's in it?
Exhibit 5, that's Lagos. Yeah. Right. Exhibit 5 is from Lagos. Again, you can see two images side by side. One on the right-hand side is from a polling agent saying, this is the result on the day. It has no alterations, no serious alterations. The one on the left is what INEC posted. Massive alterations. And you can see that the result has totally changed. So somebody is lying. Either the polling agent is right, what he's showing you on the right, or INEC is saying for whatever reason, after that clean copy, they've made adjustments all over the place, and it's the same end result. Votes that went to Labour Party have shrunk or disappeared. Conversely, we know who the beneficiary is, because it was balanced at the end of the day. So this is the trend that is worrisome.
Right.
And this is why I'm concerned. I don't want to waste your time by going to other states.
Right. Well, you've given us a kind of bird's eye view of what might have gone wrong, but obviously that's different from what is actually admitted in a court of law, and they would have to prove a lot of things. But as you review the presidential elections and assess the results, would you say that Beavers and IREV were helpful at all?
See, Beavers was helpful because it established the total number of voters who were accredited. So whatever you're altering, like I said, you must add and subtract that so we can see you doing the alterations. IREV was helpful because you must post for us to see this horribly altered result sheet that I'm calling Exhibit 5, which the party is disowning, saying it's not the correct result. So those things were built in and they give us transparency. And I'm happy that INEC posted this result available for the whole world to see. And everybody can go and check on that particular polling unit result and compare it to what the polling agent is saying on the right-hand side. So I'm saying that something is wrong somewhere.
Yes, well, I mean, there is the sense that a lot of people share your sentiment, but obviously those election results are now being challenged in court. I mean, how do you rate the chances of the PDP and the Labour Party in court?
You know, I'm not a judge, but I can only talk about the evidence that I myself spent time scanning through result sheets. But you see, there's a pattern, and that's the one that's disturbing. All the examples I showed you were votes of Labour Party transferred to APC on the face of it. PDP votes left untouched. Now, it's about magnitude overall. How Was this done in a huge scale all over the place? And let's be careful, this is an election with a low turnout. If the sum total of such incidences, which I have examples of and I've shown some live, if the sum total was, let's say, 1.5 million votes only, or 1.5 million votes total that were transferred from Labour to APC, go back and look at the INEC declared results. They said APC had 8.8 million votes. If you deduct 1.5 million, it's down to 7.3. If you add 1.5 million to Labour, the 6.09 jumps to 7.6. So the point I'm making is that what the courts have to do is to look at these incidents carefully and see whether is there a pattern that shows that in the aggregate, something like 1 million, 1.5 million votes or even more were modified like this from result sheet tampering. Unfortunately, people had time to tamper with the result sheets. The last time I checked, INEC had not even finished uploading presidential elections results on the IREV. They had like 94%. I don't understand why it takes 10 days or 7 days to post a result sheet. What are you altering that it takes, we need 5 days or 4 days to post it there?
Well, Mr. Peterside, you talked earlier, or you explained earlier about doing your homework first, which is what you were doing before you then decided to come on air. But beyond that, is there a reason why you've decided to bring out all these exhibits at this point and at this time?
Yes, because there's another election coming on Saturday, and we cannot or we should not repeat this nonsense. Okay, the last time they said there was a problem with communication. Can we please on Saturday finish counting and immediately upload the results so we can all see it, instead of holding it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days and then bringing out altered result sheets and then we start arguing over this is falsified, that's not falsified. And also it's important for everybody in INEC to know the examples I've given. Everybody can trace it now. You know which INEC official signed the result sheet that no party agent signed. If people really falsified, it's a criminal offense. We're talking about forgery and fraud. So they should not go scot-free. And please, it's possible even that the candidate is not involved. But fraud is fraud. It doesn't matter whether it's if your agent carried out fraud, even you, the candidate, should say, I reject this.
That's a very good point. And I'm going to ask you what your reaction is to those who argue that in the Nigerian context, irregularities at elections are a fairly normal practice, but what really is the scale of the irregularities and what impact they might have on the outcome is the issue here.
Yes, okay, let's look at the scale. I've shown you single polling unit in Imo, 600 votes, I'm doubting. I've shown you Rivers, single polling unit, 200 and something votes, and in Lagos the same. Let's even imagine that the average was only 10 votes per polling unit nationwide. 175,000 polling units times 10 is 1.75 million votes. So if it was 1.7, if it was only an average of 10 fake votes that were transferred from left to right, it changes the result, because add 1.75 million to Labour, deduct 1.75 million from APC, immediately Labour has the highest number of votes. So it's not true that the magnitude of what you're looking for is something humongous. If it's an average of only 10 votes on average per polling unit, it changes the whole result. This election was a 3-horse race. It's even possible that PDP, after you make those adjustments, got the highest number of votes. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't know, and I see results that a blind man can tell that the sheets were tampered with. It probably explains why PDP and Labour Party walked out. Now, please, everybody should go and do the homework. Go and look at the result sheets. They're available.
So I mean, what sort of accountability should there be for what you believe happened during those elections? I mean, do you agree with those who say that in view of everything, from the failure of IREV and Beavers to all the other issues that clearly marred that presidential election, the chairman of INEC should go, should resign?
You'll be surprised. I don't think so. Because the way I understand INEC, the chairman of INEC is in Abuja. I've given you examples from Imo, from Port Harcourt. If there was fraud carried out in Port Harcourt in Rivers State, and the state rec from INEC brings those results to Abuja and insists these are the correct results, to an extent, the INEC chairman's hands are tied because he was not even there. The parties are saying this is falsified. The INEC official in charge is saying no, everything is okay. If it's a case of fraud, you have to go to court to prove fraud, because fraud is about criminality. If it's about forgery, you need to go to court. You need investigation. The INEC chairman in Abuja cannot make himself the investigator, the judge, the jury, and overrule River State results. So I can understand if he's telling the parties, please go to court. Take this evidence and put it before the judges. Let the judges look at it and tell us what the whole world can view from INEC portal, that there was no distortion of results. Let the judges look at the result from Imo State, signed only by one INEC official, not signed by any political party agent, and say it's okay. See, people have to know that these things are now available publicly.
So would you, Mr. Peter Side, support those from the Labour Party and the PDP who feel aggrieved enough to take to the streets in protest?
My personal view is that it's premature. I would always advocate in a society, I'm a disciplined person, go through all the processes. I don't play God. Take this evidence, which I said in some cases, even a blind man can see. He can feel the tipex with his fingers. Take it before the courts. Let the judges look at it and tell us it does not matter. At that point, if you want to go to the street, perhaps I'll follow you and join you on the street. But not now. Give people a chance to do their work. It doesn't matter how much you distrust them. Let them look at this evidence which the whole world is seeing. We have become the laughing stock. A football match was played, Man United got 7, Liverpool got 0. One of the jokes in Lagos, somebody changes the result of 0, puts 10, and says INEC has changed the result. It's from these result sheets. We made ourselves the laughing stock.
Right. So, I mean, let me ask you this. We're almost out of time here, but you're a big wig. I mean, you're the founder of a bank. You're a founder of a major sort of foundation. You move around in prominent circles, and some of your colleagues in those higher circles have rushed out to congratulate the president-elect Bola Tinubu. What do you have to say about that? I imagine you haven't gone out to congratulate him.
No, each unto his own. Look, if they go through this process and the judges convince us everything was done correctly and we adopt the numbers, whoever is the winner will congratulate the person. But for now, it's premature. I mean, when I can see with my own eyes what INEC has uploaded, part of what they've uploaded is an insult on anybody's intelligence. I think it's premature. They're just people who are rushing to congratulate probably have not taken the trouble to even look at the available information or the evidence. INEC is each unto his own.
Well, Mr. Peter Side, we're literally almost out of time. After all the complicated politics and tensions following the presidential election and all the issues around alleged manipulation, fraud, and disenfranchisement, what are your expectations for the governorship elections on Saturday? Briefly.
It's a chance for the INEC chairman and others to redeem themselves. He should insist everybody should upload the results immediately after voting. We cannot have 1 or 2 states hold back the results and start tampering endlessly, claiming they could not transmit the results. So I mean, INEC cannot fail twice. So first time you can give them, you can say, okay, they were trying out new systems. They can't repeat the same mistake now, for goodness sake.
the Diaspora Election Monitoring Observatory, and we were participant observers in the election that just held in Nigeria, or should I clarify, the sham elections that just held in Nigeria. I want to point out that as a participant observer, I traveled to my home state to participate in the elections, and the Beavers technology refused to accredit me. So I experienced disenfranchisement right there and then. I know that at least half a dozen of my family members who voted in 2019 were unable to vote this time because of the cash crunch that occurred in the economy. So there were systematic efforts to disenfranchise and intimidate or strangle voters from being able to participate. But you can imagine my shock after monitoring in Benue, Plateau, and FCT and seeing thousands of Nigerians peacefully coming out to vote, to see that the results were not uploaded. Now, just to show you the extent of the mischief that occurred, the results for the National Assembly elections, which occurred at the same time, simultaneously with the presidential results, were able to be uploaded, but the presidential election results were not uploaded. And till this day, as we speak, the results have not even been completely uploaded. What is even shocking is that we have seen photographs of individuals, a woman in a bathroom, uploaded supposedly as results on INEC's IRF page till this day. How can you elect someone on the basis of the photograph of a woman in the bathroom? I want to quickly mention that a lot of the international observers who were there were as disenchanted as I was. There were 4 African presidents, former presidents, who were in Nigeria to observe the elections. There were over 144,000 observers deployed across the country, and they all were disenchanted by what they saw. I want to say that what happened in Nigeria was not election observation, but a crime watch. We watched a crime being perpetrated on a country of 200 million people with utter and complete impunity. I also want to say that President Jimmy Carter has been vindicated. He went and observed elections in Nigeria many years ago, and he was so upset at the impunity and the brazen theft of the election that he vowed never to go back to Nigeria again. And as that distinguished president is in hospice care, he stands vindicated because Nigeria has refused to learn its lesson. One of the American observers that I spoke with mentioned 2 things. One, he said that, well, at least this election was better than the 2003 election. And I said to him, if we're going back 20 years to compare, then we have not made any progress. And as Nedeko has pointed out, this is even 30 years. The June 12 election, which was a travesty and a brazen rape of democracy or attempted democracy, is basically happening again. The sad point is that one of our co-travelers, in the effort to restore democracy to Nigeria, is now complicit in undermining democracy in Nigeria. In 1997, when I came on exile myself, after having been imprisoned by General Abacha, I had the privilege of meeting Senator Bola Tinubu in Nadeko in exile in the UK. So we have been in the trenches fighting for democracy, and it is painful for us to see what is happening, that we're not making the progress that we think we should make. I want to wrap up my remarks by making a couple of points. That it is not that the elections in Nigeria were handled badly, but that the rigging in Nigeria was handled badly. There was no effort, there was no sincere effort to conduct an election in Nigeria. What happened was an insincere effort to conduct rigging. And that is why you will see cancellations. You will see unbelievable atrocities that were done. They didn't even make a genuine effort to hide the manipulation of the elections. I also want to make this second point, that it isn't that they failed to meet global standards, but that they failed to meet even their own standards. There is no way that INEC can say that the travesty that occurred was what they had promised time and time and again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I join my voice to what Nadeko has said today. The INEC chairman needs to resign for once again betraying the trust of the Nigerian people. The United States government should not dignify the travesty that has occurred by legitimizing illegitimate rulers. And most importantly, we must not fail the young Nigerians who came out in droves in the sun and put their fate in their own hands, that they wanted to rescue their country from bad leadership, only to be abused and misused in this manner. So I call upon the government of General Buhari, if he has any dignity and if he has any aspirations to any legacy whatsoever, to salvage Nigeria from the travesty that has occurred in the sham elections that held. Thank you very much.
To tell you that this election is a total fraud. You heard the man that just said even the image of a woman in a bathroom was uploaded on the INEC portal. And this is part of the results that INEC used to declare Tinubu as the winner of this election. These things ought not to be. And these are the things Mr. Peter Obi wants to ensure we fix it once and for all. Because if he just allows it and Nigeria just moves on from there, I tell you, things like this will just continue. But he wants to ensure that, you know, the court, the Nigerian justice system comes into play, as in handles this matter very well, so that next time people will know that there will always be a consequence when people go, you know, extra mile to just satisfy their own intentions. So guys, you can see why Mr. Peter Obi should go ahead with his court case, as in against the INEC chairman and him declaring Tinubu to be the winner of this election. Honestly, if we want to start fixing things, in Nigeria, if we want a Nigeria that, you know, we can really call a place to live, honestly, this is an opportunity. I see it as a real opportunity. People will know that there is a barrier to the extent they could go when it comes to, you know, corruption during election. People will not want to go this far just to satisfy their own pockets, to the detriment of the Nigerian people who came out en masse to cast their vote. We all know that some people lost their lives, some people were, you know, badly injured, and so many things that happened during this election. I want to tell you that one of the people that represented the Labour Party in Rivers State went missing, and even up to today, he has not been found. This is one of the reasons why people should say, Peter Obi, go ahead with your case suit against the INEC chairman and the process of this election, so that we can get justice, as in, and things will begin to change. Honestly, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.